Okay, welcome back.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us once more here on Weird Games with Papa Weird.
And Weirdling.
As long as he stays alive, all right. Weirdling been having a bit of a gut rot today, okay? So he's made it into the studio through all the snow and the terrible blinding wind and rain and pain
Of autumn in Australia.
to get into one room from the other part of the house, and he's done a wonderful job. All right, so change log today. Oh, we got to introduce our friends. We knock them over. We have
Gus.
and click click's back. All right, click the pirate. Gar, there she be, booty. Show me the booty. Show me the booty. Show me the booty. All right, now change log. Where were we? End of the book. Here we are. All right, we have our oasis. After we walk out of our oasis, we walk down quite a narrow alleyway into a large open crossroads where we have large open, and heavily worn and treaded pathways. One goes up the side of one of the mountains, and one of them goes down underneath the mountain. Lovely. And the other one goes straight through to a little glade about what did we say? Was it 400, 500?
500.
400 feet away from the crossroads. Little windy sort of heavy trod track there, all the way through to cabin, like a hut in the side of, here we are, cabin in the side of the mountain there, with a mural opposite. Got a little garden way, some trees and brush. All right, lovely. These are the little hidden paw triggers. One's hidden behind a vine there, and the other one's quite clear to see. When the dragons come, they can choose to ring the door and open it to summon out the mage. So that's the idea: is you get their paws and put them on the wall, one way or another, be they willing or not. Maybe you can convince them. Maybe kill one, and the other one will help. Maybe you have to kill them both. Maybe you can convince them both and pay them or tell them they're going to be free after you kill the astral moon dragon. Not sure. You'll have to work it out. They're dragons. They're finicky. That's another day's problem. All right. So going back to the exit, if you're going up here, which is where we went the other day, right? We did that big long series of recording. What we have here is the path that went up to heaven, as we called it, along the side of the mountain. We had a nice little seat, let me see, 500 or 600 feet up the side of the ridge. And then we had to go over to our new book and move click across. All right. We have had, then, let me see, is that on the screen there? All right, nice, okay. So then we had the first of our shrines, which is a copper dragon statue. So may just look like a regular dragon to any old person, but to the right druid or ranger or historian, they may be able to tell exactly what they're going to find at the top of the mountain. We have a monk in a restroom, well, more of a tea hut, and with a couple of rooms attached, and they got their own room, a little kitchenette. And this is sort of a guide or like a holy man that is a service to the copper dragon. The profession we've given them, the class, is a monk, and we have made them a astral elf, apparently, thanks to the weirdling.
Yep.
So we have an astral elf who is a CR7 or 8 monk, lawful good, and is the defender of the copper dragon. All right, lovely. Moving on, after your stay there and a few nice words with the monk of either guidance or warning, you can continue up. This is where the monk will tell you should stop. You should only go up as far as the next shrine where you can lay some gold or some copper in the bowl and maybe some other trinkets and give offering to the dragon, but it's not advised to go any further. Otherwise, you may anger them or, disturb them or some other warning business. because otherwise here at the top of the mountain ridge, probably we're looking at about I think it was close to 800, 900 feet above water level. After you've walked around this mountain twice, pretty much, essentially, to get to the top of it. You have the
At a
dragons.
40% incline.
Well, it'd be rough. Some places are probably a little bit more, some of them are less. I mean, until I get a topographic map going, which I don't know that we're going to do for this one, but we can't really necessarily tell what's going up or down and by too much. Because it's hard to tell distance of going around, and then you're also counting distance of coming up as to how far the distance is traveled. It's either by the route of the path or by the crow's flight up the mountain. So by the flight up the mountain, we're looking at it probably close to 800, 900 feet, which is almost we're looking at probably, what was it, 250, 300 meters up, which is quite high. It's high enough. That's going to take a couple of hours worth of climb, one way or another, if it's a straight climb, under good conditions. So yeah. All right. So yeah, at the top, after all of that, you will get to see a copper dragon, who is being controlled to adhere to the moon dragon's wishes. Who has its I have worked that out. They have their young. All right, the young of the moon dragon. The young of the copper dragon. That one of their eggs is held by the moon dragon in one of their rooms later on. Okay, so this copper dragon is beholden to them in story narrative terms, but will also help the party if they get a chance. They can do it in secret, if they're not going to get caught out, if they can do it on the sly or quiet, and they're not going to raise the anger of the moon dragon, then they will help you. But otherwise, and especially if under the order of the moon dragon, will be attacking and aggressive, regardless of lawful good nature or not. All right, very good.
That's sucky.
Well, I mean, the idea is that it's meant to be a guard dog, but you've got one guard dog that's probably more willing and is aggressive and would be happy to kill you, and then you've got the other guard dog that doesn't really want to, but is equally terrifying. But on the sly, if they can, will probably let you get away with it, and probably will try and work with you if they can. As long as you assure them that you'll get their baby back to them, I mean, they're probably willing to do anything if they can. Otherwise, they just look forward to an eternity of what? Being stuck here, beholden to another dragon and a mage, right? Having to eat random adventurers. Okay. All right. So, where are we today? We're going to do 4 rooms. Okay. We're going down now into the mountain. We're dealing with not only the dragon, but more importantly today, their servants.
The kobold.
Yeah, the kobolds. Okay, so let's have a look. We are here. So we have an entryway down with a locked door that we're going to be doing first off the and it's going to be having a trap. And we're going to, on the other side of that, having a 3-way split. One's a big, wide, flat sort of cutout down to the dragon's lair down there at the deep bottom. And one will be to where they keep their stock. And I had an idea of what I thought you might want to keep as their feed stock. What was that thing that you found in the other book you're looking at?
Oh, the
flying piggy swines or whatever they were.
The space swine.
Yeah, space swines. Where were they?
In the Boo's Astral
Menagerie.
Lingerie.
All right. Well, if you'd like to find that, that'll give you something to do. All right. Because we'll need that later. All right. Okay. And we're going to be introducing some slaves or workers. Okay. So we're going to have dragon kobolds. Nothing better to put in than kobolds, and nothing more dragon-esque than, well, dragon kobolds specifically. All right. So we're going to be including them today, okay? And we'll do the dragon tomorrow. Tomorrow's problem will be the dragon, okay? We're going to do a big white dragon. Well, an average-sized white dragon. Okay, so the door down the hole. Okay, so off the side of that path in the other book, I'm thinking it was the more northeastern direction.
Space line.
All right, can we see that? We can see that. Space swine. All right, sure.
They can even read it.
Okay, so we're gonna have that. Where are we gonna have that? That's down here in the stock pens, and we're gonna have space swine.
Page 57.
Okay, 57 of the astral.
Astral lingerie.
Very good. All right. Back here, Flo. Come on, let's finish this. Okay, we have the door down. Okay, so we're going to have tunnel. Okay, where we got? Let's have a look what we're getting on the old monitor. Bit hard to know. The monitor's in a different place now these days.
It's like behind us.
Yeah, that's right. It is. It's behind us, and we don't have anyone working on it to give us a thumbs up on what we're doing. Okay, so this one here is going to come down, and it's quite a wide path. You know, it's like 10, 15 foot wide, dug in to the caverns, and quite well dug in. It's not bricked or anything like that. It's not mortared or had any work done, but the cut work is quite clean.
Yeah.
Okay, these whoever has dug this hole has some kind of particular aptitude and ability. Okay, right? It's not just clawed out and dug out cavern. All right, but it is deliberate. Okay, and it looks like it ends in a doorway. Probably, I'm thinking about 100 to 150 feet, somewhere around there. Down the end of this little dugout. All right, there's a trap doorway down here. Okay, it's the doorway itself has to be at least 10 to 12 feet wide, so that it's big enough for the dragon to be able to get in and out comfortably.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's only a lodge, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking the coppers were only the young copper, wasn't it? Was what we said it was, young copper.
Yep.
Would you like to find that and have a check? Yeah, I think these young coppers were large, and we'll do pretty much the same carbon copy of their template across, so that there's a equality between the two encounters.
The white dragon.
Yeah, the young white's 6, so that could be all right, considering that we want to put them with some kobolds. So that can help up, pick up the difficulty in the encounter. We can actually probably go to the calculator for that one. Okay, but trap first. We do need a trap. We have a trap randomizer. We haven't used it in a little while. Let's have a look at this. Okay.
This.
Okie dokie.
Where was it?
One that said traps. Let me have a look. Look, trap generator. This one.
Oh, wrong.
Wrong hand. Yeah. All right. Did you just lose your pencil?
No.
No. All right. Let's go on. What are we looking at?
Oh, roll a d20.
Yeah, we need a dice. I'll pull these out of the way. All right.
Contact D. 1. Slow to react.
Oh, we don't do that. That's not for this one here. All right. Okay. That's
19.
Yeah. All right. What are you rolling under? Under B?
D.
D. All right. Is that the one of the more difficult ones?
Yep. Poisoned trap.
A poison trap. Very good. Does it say what kind of poison trap it is there? Whether it's
reroll on this table, rerolling any subsequent results of poison trap, resolved trap, and what?
All right. Okay. That's all right. That's no problem. Yeah. Okay. So what happens is you're going to have a poison trap, and we're going to have it be quite difficult. It's sitting above. Okay. So there's a poison trap that sits above the doorway. Okay. And it will drop a little poison globe. Okay. And if they fail their rolls, they will get a poison status. Okay. DC probably 18 Constitution to avoid. The poison trap itself is probably going to be a DC 21 to detect up in the roof. Probably going to have to up these DCs too eventually.
And then like
the DCs are going to go up because the guys have probably got far better perception rolls, skills and stuff. Their proficiency bonuses probably be getting up now. Some of the rogues and bards are going to have expertise to be able to get around this. Anyway, we'll leave that for now. DC 21, DC 18 con to avoid the poisoning, and we'll give it some damage. What do you reckon for damage? Once off. You would take 1 big shot of poison damage, and let's see. Actually, if it is dropping, they will have a chance to avoid it. It's going to be like a fireball. And it's going to be in a 25-foot radius from the door. All right. 25-foot radius from the door. And it will have DC probably quite 18 to 20 to be able to avoid DC 18, 20 decks to avoid that. All right. Otherwise, it's DC 18 Constitution to avoid the poison and half damage. And what are we doing for damage here?
Like every turn.
Let's have a look. No, just once. As they take the inhale, they cough it up. It makes them really sick.
How about
all right.
Like 1D? How much health would they have?
Well, let's see.
1D20?
I'm thinking we're going to do something more closer like this here.
Like,
see, look, they got a D10 here, or closer to 2D12s. I'm thinking something along. No, I'm thinking along the lines of 3D6. All right.
3D6.
3D6. Roll that out. You'll see. That's not too scary. All right. It's enough that as a once-off hit that it's noticeable. But I doubt 3D6
14 damage.
17 is going to take anybody out.
7.
It's not. And they've got a chance to dodge out of it. And they only take half damage on the save. And they don't get poison. All right? They just cough it out. They get the whiff in them. And they take a little bit of constitution and they spit it out. All right? Okay?
And if they fail their constitution, they get poisoned.
Sure. Or they can dodge it entirely. If they make their dexterity roll, then they've dodged it entirely. All right.
But if they don't,
then they get the poison. Yeah.
And if they lose their cons, they'll just get poisoned.
They get the poison status, which is important because here's what we're gonna do: kobolds, right? What do we use the kobolds for? We're gonna run tunnels along the sides and across the roofs of all of these rooms. Okay. So what's gonna happen is there is a tunnel system that joins up that sits above this. All right. And what they've got is a couple of murder holes, enough for kobolds to sit in. Okay. So we are having murder holes. So what they'll probably do is come to the doorway. They might notice them. The murder holes are going to be DC, probably quite simple, 16 to notice. They're going to be inset into the wall, 5-foot inset, but they're going to be 2 foot by about 3 foot in size, so big enough that you can kind of stick a short bow out and go pew pew pew. All right, put your arrow out of.
Yeah.
But you can't really fit a person in unless they're tiny, like a cat or a
turn the barbarian into a snake.
Turn the barbarian into a snake and stick it on them. Very good. All right.
Sick 'em, boys.
So they have murder holes, okay, that they can use to shoot arrows out of and do other things. Okay. We will get into who's doing this very shortly, but for now, we'll just leave it at that. Unless the guys can... and the tunnels themselves, okay, so the tunnels are going to be like coffins, all right? They are just 5 foot by 5 foot, all right? They're the bare minimum cube of travel that medium would like to fit inside and crawl along in any kind of comfort, okay? So that's the size of their tunnels, and they just sit there with little opening murder holes just shooting out of pew 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 pew, and they can cross in between each other. All right.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yep.
All right. We'll have to see what these guys have. They're dragon kobolds. They're out of one of the other books I've got, so we'll have a look at them soon. 4-way junction. Okay. So as they come down, let's move this out of the way. Are we on the table? We need to be where people can see us. All right. Click, click, Gus. Don't fall off, guys. All right. Stay with us over here. Okay.
Put it on the post-it note.
Where's the post-it note? Over there. All right. Here we go. Okay. 4-way junction. So you come out of that doorway. You will end up in like a T-way, but instead of going only 2 ways, it's got 3. So we've got one that is rather large and wide and very well tread in. This is the one that leads down to the dragon's own sleeping abode, the dragon's lair down there. We have one that's going into the stock pens for these swine that you mentioned. What are they?
Space swine.
Space swine. All right. That's to the stock pens, okay. and the other ones over here to the dragon kobold. They're like they got a little rooms, right? They need to be able to get into the walls, so they need their tunnels to start there. They also need some place to live and bed and eat and do their living. So let's see, that's going to be down this way. Now,
What if one of the party had like just a smoke bomb and they just put like the smoke bomb down the thing? Would they be able to smoke the kobolds out?
a little bit of chai tea there first. I mean, sure, there's some spells like that that can move like gaseous forms and clouds and stuff like that, right? And you can move them, and they do. They float downwards. So all of these tunnels are, in fact, heading downwards from here. Okay, they are still digging in. The one to the dragon's lair obviously looks a lot steeper and a lot more well tread. Obviously, dragons being heavier. All right. But so here's our junction. Now, what we're going to have again, all right, totally, completely as a surprise, another trap because kobolds do traps. Oh, and murder holes. So while you roll up a trap, I will put some murder holes in there.
Yes. Spiked pit.
Spiked pit can drop out in the center here. Okay, so we're gonna trap that equals a spiked pit. Okay, and this one you're going to need a DC probably not very hard, only 16 to avoid it, but it takes up most of that center area. All right. How do they trigger it though?
They can. It's those. What is it? Picnic blankets on the beach, and they like.
Sure. Okay. So they got like they've got enough to have about a 5-foot walkway around the pit. So they know that if they have to and the trap hasn't been fired, that they just walk within the 5 foot and they'll always be fine, right?
Yeah.
But if you walk on the actual trap itself in that pit in that open area, sure. So the trap's a DC 16 to find. It's probably going to be quite difficult to
avoid.
Well, you won't be able to. Some of these things like traps, you can just I want to disarm it. Okay, sure. Then give me your sleight of hand and your intellect, or sleight of hand and dexterity, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. But this isn't that simple, all right? This is okay. You found the trap, but it's more an obstacle. How do you make sure that you can get around it, right? And then everybody has to probably understand that this is the markings of it. You'll see that it's got 5 feet of movement space, wiggle room around the outside, right? And they'll just have to remember that. And if they ever flee from this room, they'll have to do so and remember it, that they're going to be crossing that area and walk around it. Because if they ever walk over it directly, it'll just fall. Okay.
And with the dragon, they just like step over it.
So
it's a dragon.
Sure, he's a dragon. He just flies over, flaps his wing, and hops and jumps around the corner.
Yeah, just like hops over it.
Spiked pit is 30-foot drop. The spikes themselves are going to do a D10 damage. How
about 2d8?
Oh, well, I mean, after a 30-foot drop and you've taken 3d6 damage, because you take a d6 every 10 feet, I think, you're taking 3d6 plus extra, right? So you got a d10, all right?
Let's see how much damage that would be.
I think it's a d6 every 10 feet. I could very much be wrong. But anyway, so we have more murder holes that run out from that room down there where the kobolds are living and sleeping. And they do run up against the side of this one here.
17 damage.
And they connect out to the front door. All right, 17 damage. See, it's livable, right? But at the same time, you're probably less than half hit points or half hit points or so, depending on your class. And you're sitting at the bottom of a 30-foot pit with spikes all around you, right?
And I jumped.
And then all the dragon kobolds sitting there on the top shooting down at you, right? So it's not a great position to be in, right?
No. Not at all.
Okay. Servants' quarters. At the end of this room here, at the end of that corridor, as we come down, there's going to be a series of rooms, okay? One's just going to be the simple entrance on both sides up into the tunnels. All right. So we have tunnel entrances. Okay.
Is there gonna be another trap?
No, they are the trap themselves. All right,
Oh.
because they're in the tunnels themselves around you, and they live and in here all the time. They're always in here, so it's not like they need to like trap themselves, right? So there's tunnel entrances on the side here. We also have let me see, what rooms do they need? They are going to need a sleeping room. They are going to need a common room. They're going to need a hole in the ground for a refuse and toiletries and scraps. So we have a scrap room.
The pee pee poo poo hole.
Yeah, pee pee poo poo hole. Yes. Scrap room, sleeping room, common room. And over here they might have a space for all their tools and weapons and implements, right? So they got a tool room and weapon room. Okay, tool, weapons. Okay, very good. Okay, so what do we have in here? We have, and I'm going to switch over. Okay, you're going to have to do talking as I go over.
Okay, hang on. I'm rolling for how many kobolds there are in this room
Just a
right
second.
now.
We're going to need
4 kobolds in this room.
no, we might need more. We're going to need the calculator. Alright, where's the calculator? I didn't get that up first. Okay, come across here. Are we on the right screen?
Yes.
Okay, and count it. Oh, and we need the other calculator, right? Where was that one? Down the bottom of. There. Okay, so these guys are level 7 at the minute, right? There's 4 of them plus extras. Okay, so let's see. Can we? There we go. Number of characters. We have 4 at 7 monsters. Okay, so we have to look at the monsters first. What have we got? Dragon kobolds. All right, these guys like to. The difference is that these guys are more interested in gems. They don't just mine for the sake of it or take up dungeon space or just want to trap and kill adventurers. These guys are quite heavily interested in the gems. All right, so if these guys are into the gems, then they probably have a relationship with the Hadozi Hermit. So they're probably going down to try and raid his crystals, right?
Oh no.
Oh no, right? So these guys have probably had some backwards and forwards. So the Hadozi probably knows about these guys a little bit, okay? So he might be able to give you a bit of info. All right? So
Another exposition dump.
yes. So we have acolytes, okay? Acolytes are 1/8. They're very, very tiny. We could probably put in a couple of those. All right?
Okay.
Let's put in 4 of those to start. All right? 4 at, was it, well, did we just write 1/4? Was it 1/8?
1/8.
Okay. Calculate. Trivial. All right, so we have to add a row. Okay, so now we also have these ones, the Kobold Warriors. All right, these are bigger guys. These are challenge rating 1. I reckon we add about 4 of these in. All right, okay.
Yep.
4 at 1. Calculate. See, we're still sitting at easy now. We're stepping it up a little bit.
Ooh.
Okay, so we have something else to add in here.
Spooky.
Okay, have a look. Look, dragon, kobold, mutants. These guys literally get wings and stuff, right? Okay. These guys, challenge rating 2. I reckon we could put at least 3 in here.
4.
4? We want 4, 4, 4. Let's see
Yes.
how that goes. And in the Chinese, to be just whatever clear, in the Chinese horoscope superstition, unlucky. 4, 4, 4 is death. Even in Japan, 4 is an unlucky number, right? So,
I was mixing it up.
we don't want to kill them, right? Are we there to kill them?
Oh.
4 by 2, calculate, deadly. See, we're getting a deadly encounter here. So move across.
Ooh.
Okay. So we have. All right, we're looking at 4 times the acolytes. All right. 4 times the mutants, and 4 times the what's the other one? Warriors. All right. Now, not all of the time are these guys that's going to be sitting in here, all right? Because some might be attending to, they have different jobs. Some might be attending to the dragon down in the square. Some.
Yeah, these are all the kobolds in the area.
Yeah. So this is what, 4, 8, 12. These 12 particular group here, they live in this entire area. So you might knock a couple out when you're trying to get through the door and they're trying to shoot you through the murder holes, right? And so you might take 1 or 2 of them out and then they'll flee away deeper. And then when you're in the spike pit, they might start shooting you from up there until you work out how to get out. And then they'll flee away a bit deeper. So I think that's enough for what we've got to do here. All right, we've given them.
We just need to do the space swine.
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure. It does say over there what actual weapons and stuff that they have. And it actually gives them a weapons list, kind of like you would have on a skeleton or something, where they have short bows or
Longbow.
No, short bows or short swords, right? On a skeleton, for example. So these guys over there. What was that book, mind you? Can you have a look just for a second?
The Ultimate Bestiary.
The Ultimate Bestiary of is it the Vile Darkness one? I'm not sure. There's a couple of Ultimate Bestiaries out there, and I got my hands on at least 2 of them. Anyway,
At least.
Okay. All right, last one for today, so we can wrap up. We've had a big one. All right. Hope you're still doing all right here, little weirdling. All right, along with us. This is very simple. Okay. In the middle room, we have. Do you want to do a shape of a room? You haven't done a shape of a room yet. You can do that one.
Yay.
All right. Let's do up a shape of a room.
One.
Okay.
What is it?
So these they use to feed the white dragon and keep it somewhat happy, and occasionally they get to eat one as well. All right. So have you rolled your dice?
I'm
Still
getting there.
While you do that, I'm going to have a sip of the tea.
9. Triangle.
Oh, lovely. We love.
Another triangle.
Oh, we love them triangles. All right. Okay.
Last creature den we did a triangle as well.
Yeah, that was a large giant room. Okay, so we got that. We got a triangle shape here, and pretty much they just have a gate.
The 1d20 pigs.
The fence, and okay. Well, if you want to do it like that, you do 5d6.
5d6.
All right, and that way you'll get a closer number to 20. Right, you'll get a more even middle number rather than just rolling one large dice. All right. So count that up. Oh, we've got lots of small dice on there. Roll that one. You count that one up already. Look, it did it again. Just count it up.
Okay, so 11.
And then? Did we get to 17 yet?
17.
We got to 17. Great. We have 17.
Space wine.
Space wine. But don't they fly?
Yeah.
So what's from flying? Stopping them from flying away. So this isn't just a fence. This is like a pen. This is a cage all the way to the top, right?
Yeah, like if you
like there's a cage.
One of those cages from Jurassic Park.
Okay. And there's 17 of these space wine in there. All right, very good. And so yeah, we need to also have some murder holes. Of course, we're going with it. All right, murder holes and tunnels that link up so that the kobolds can harass people down. They won't have any traps here, just in case they accidentally fire them off themselves. Okay, they don't want to accidentally, kill the space
they don't.
when they're sent up to go and get a feed for the dragon, and then they do the wrong thing and
let me check on the computer.
What's that?
How deadly that fight would be.
It was deadly.
If they fought the space swine.
Oh, you want to put it into the computer?
Yep.
Okay, all right. You can try that. Space swine are what? They're a quarter. Okay, and you have 17. You said. Medium. There you go. So, I mean, it's still somewhat of a challenge. So, I think that's it. We should probably do that.
Yep.
Thanks for sticking around, guys. Look at that. We're on to book number 2. We're well over 100 days in.
Yep.
Thanks for sticking around, guys.
Yep.
Hope we're still keeping it somewhat interesting for you all, and yeah,
Do the thing.
do the thing. The comments down below. No hassles. Love your work, and we will catch you next time.
Yeah.